If you ever see a video of mine, you will notice a certain trend when it comes to games. Either I'm talking about a hella old game, a new and/or relevant game, or a game that I played and could use as the meanest clickbait of the 21st century. Can you guess which videos are the ones that do the best? I tried to make a video on Paper Mario and a crap Dark Souls game, but me potentially clickbaiting with a hot buff woman and 3 dots did the job. Either I've gotta clickbait with titles more, or I gotta start playing the Marvel Rival strategy and start gooning. I guess that what I'm trying to say is that unless I can manage to make a game super interesting thumbnail and title wise, it's gonna be very hard for me to do a video on it, even if I like the game a lot. Guess what I'm gonna do right now? Just as I was coming up with the title ideas, I realized that this game was turning 10 years old. I just know I'm gonna make somebody feel old tonight! Furi is one of those indie games that you see people holding in the highest podiums, in the highest regards, hailed as one of the best in the scene. At least when I see people talk about it. The game apparently sold 3 million copies based on the Google search that I did, but I don't see enough people talking about it right now, so I guess I just gotta put people right now on peak. Yes, this is me totally justifying this title because I am definitely gonna go through with it. Basically, to make a long story short, I was interested in playing the game, but was never super duper interested until one of my friends bitch slapped me, took his wallet out, and blessed me with a miracle for a broke bitch like myself. Thank you, Cody, for giving my wallet a chance to breathe in this economy. But enough meaningless talks, because I am making a poor transition to tell you my thoughts on Furi. Also subscribe because I want to reach 1K subs by the end of the year. This isn't a suggestion anymore, by the way, this is a demand. Also, if you have any games that you want me to take a look at, then comment them down below because comments are really good. I want the attention, please. Furi is a game that starts with us in prison. Actually, more like super prison. We didn't even know what we did, but whatever it was bad enough for us to how did we get here? Gangalang, all of this was not necessary. Under normal circumstances, I probably couldn't get away from the first level. After a productive day of getting tortured though, this guy in the rabbit mask frees us, and from there it's basically one really short prison break. That's pretty much the entire setup for the story. I mean, I don't know how much more you can really set up for a story that's only a couple of hours long. The game is a boss rush game. There's not really any stages or anything in between, with the exception of some dialogue for world building purposes. From beginning to end, your ass cheeks are clenched at the edge of your seat and fighting for their life as you go through the many bosses of the game. To some people, it could definitely be a problem that Furi is such a short experience, but to be completely honest, I think that the game does just about everything that it needs to in the short time that it has. The combat in Furi is the star of the show, and from pretty much the beginning of the game, it shows everything that it has to offer. Players can attack with their swords or with a gun, on top of having a dash and a parry. When fighting bosses, you and the boss are gonna have multiple health bars, with fights being split between two, the bullet hell adjacent sections, and parts in which you're locked into close quarter combat. That is pretty much the basis behind each fight, and it sounds like the perfect recipe for an experience that is as effective of a solution to insomnia as the average soul leveling clone. But the truth is actually far from it. Because the game runs for such a short time, it gives the devs the chance to properly flesh out everything that they introduce in the game, creating a concise experience that from beginning to end knows what it wants to be and executes on that perfectly. One thing that adds on to the bosses is the presentation of the game. Furi has a really wicked art style and direction, making many of the fights stand out a lot more, with a bunch of cutscenes that give a lot of flavor to an already tasty dish. The art direction of the game and the characters are great, but really what caught my eye is how cinematic the game feels at times. Pre-boss walks are tense, full of off-putting camera angles that give you a sense that you're about to shit your pants, a sense of unease even, as you're not quite sure what weird guy is gonna try throwing pianos at your head once you get there. And the moment that you do get there, to the boss arenas I mean, the fights are full of little cutscenes from parries to animations depending on like who took a life from the other and stuff like that, or if you did a perfect parry, in which that case you're just fucking styling on the guy. It makes the game a lot more hype in its battles, and it's another one of the elements that makes Furi cool as shit. Now, I would normally talk about Furi's music, or just join the music and just let you listen to it while I'm in the background fucking busting a nut or whatever. But instead I'm gonna have a bit more class and use a text message that Cody sent me to properly describe what the music feels like. Bosses are multi-phase fights in which every health bar you take changes the patterns of the enemy and adds multiple new moves to the table, so the bosses never get tiresome. Now look me dead in the eyes and tell me what you're gonna do when the enemy stands after beating his shit and proceeds to start digging in your butt to genuine. As if that wasn't enough, none of the bosses carry a similar structure in how their faces are laid out. Some of them have a good balance between the sword fighting and the shooting, while some are 1v1 final destination no items, and some others are just some fucking Ikaruga bullshit. If you squint your eyes hard enough, your ears will sense a Toho team playing in some of the battles. Honestly, the game explores all of its ideas in such a concise manner that anything else added could run the risk of being closer to padding. Each boss fight gives such a good chance for all the mechanics to shine in different ways, making all the boss fights unique but also keeping the gameplay fun. A battle is challenging, enemies are often fast, attacks are telegraphed, but you need to pay close attention to them lest you desire getting smacked down a flight of stairs. However, in all the crazy chaos, a battle never stops being fair, with multiple health bars and health drops in a fight. You ain't as outmatched as you may be led to believe, and with just a little bit of finesse, you're gonna end up just fine. And overall, that's Furi. The game is cool, really cool. It knows what it wants to do and does it in like 3 hours. Most games couldn't even do it in 50. It's hard to say more about the game since the game is, 3 hours long. The game is as long as Sonic Forces, half its price and twice as worth it. Indie games might be a blessing on this planet. If 20 bucks are something that you have and are fine with investing, then you should get it by all means. And if you don't have the 20 doubloons, I don't know, man. There's a lot that you can do for 20 bucks. Again, if you want me to take a look at other indie games, any of them, hell, it doesn't even have to be indie games. Comment it down below. I might look at it. I might not. Who knows? Well, that's all the time that I've had for today. I'm just a random friend you met on the internet. But hey, just call me Pseudo.